Hi, I'm Anna Zobel, and I'm a Star Diamond Beachbody coach, and today's video is about how to form, F-O-R-M. This is my daughter. She's a little bit, doesn't want to be in the videos anymore. So, and she also doesn't want to be over in the living room. We're going to do this last video. So, this is, what FORM means is family, occupation, recreation, and message. So basically, it is a little format that you can use to get to know people or to reconnect with people that you already know. So I used this when I was starting with my warm market, and let's say I friended somebody from high school on my Facebook page. I would start out and I'd write to them, and the first message would just be, hey, how the heck are you doing? And something that sounds like you, of course. And I would say, what have you been up to for the last decade? Just kind of, and put a smiley face. But other people, so people that catch up with them, ask them about their family, say, hey, your kiddos look really cute. How old are they now? You ask. What I do is at the end of each message that I send them another question about themselves to keep the conversation going. And so I think she's getting hungry. She's wanting to eat my hand. Anyway, so then occupation, say, hey, how have you been doing, at your work? If they don't work, then, ask them how they've been doing with their different hobbies. So, and then fun is, ask them, oh, did you get to do anything fun for Valentine's Day or whatever the last holiday is? I will ask them, what did you do for fun, or what are your fun plans for that? And recreation also could be, whether they're going on vacation or whatever they plan on doing in their free time. Ask them about a book if they're in a book club with you. So then, then what I do for people that I don't know is that I start out with, usually I friend them from groups on Facebook where we have a common interest. And so I will first ask about the group. If it's a first-time mommy group, then I'm going to ask them about their family. So the first-time mommy groups, I usually say, thanks for adding me as a friend. I love getting to know, bless you. Bless you. I love getting to know people from our mommy group. And then I give them a little bit of information so they don't think I'm like a total weirdo. And I say, hey, our cute baby or our sweet girl is, right now she's 5 months old. And then I ask them, how old is your kiddo? So again, so I ask them a question at the end of the, my message. So then they message back and they say how old their kiddo is, and then I say, something about that, like, oh, that's great. Let's say they're 18 months old. I'm like, oh, I've heard that's a really fun age, or I've heard that's a really busy age. And then again, I ask them a question. I give them a little bit of personal information, again, so I'm not just like interrogating them. So what I say is, I live in Idaho Falls, and then I do a dash and I say, where are you from? And then they'll tell me, and then I do a follow-up question about that. I'll say, oh, well, do you like living there? Did you grow up there? And they will, answer about that. And then I have written out, I actually have a script, basically. I use Evernote to be able to copy and paste. It's things that I would have said anyway, and that basically I said so many times that I finally put it in a script that I could just copy and paste. So I have a little message that says, when they tell me where they're from and tell me a little bit about that, I say, oh, that's great, and then I tell them, I actually grew up in Oregon, and my husband grew up in Montana, but we ended up moving to Idaho Falls, and I say something fun about that, like, we're surprised that we like it here, and we actually want to stay. And so, and then at the end of that, again, I leave it with another question for them. I say, what do you do? What do you like to do? So this is occupation and recreation kind of together. And I do that because sometimes if I just say, what do you do? People are assuming I'm asking them about a career. And I talk to a lot of stay-at-home moms. And so I like to say, what do you do? What do you like to do? And so that way they can kind of answer both questions, or they can answer either of those questions. And then when they write back with that, then I already have written out what I do. And I say, I'm a new mom and a Beachbody coach. I have a team of coaches that helps people be healthier. And then I say I'm also a nurse practitioner, and I talk about that a little bit. And then I kind of leave it at that. And I've heard lots of coaches say, you know, they'll end the conversation. They'll say, well, I'll see you around on Facebook, you know, and they'll talk to them a little bit later. There's lots of different things you can do. You can comment on their photos. You can say, hey, I saw that you went to the gym this week or whatever. You can do that, but I kind of leave it at that. And then the message is that eventually, maybe a day or two later, or maybe later that evening, you know, I don't do it right away, then I will send them an invite to one of our groups, whether it's the challenge group or a free clean eating group or one of our other free groups or to our coach events. And so anyway, so that's what that is. Family, occupation, recreation, and message. And you don't have to go through them in order, and you also don't necessarily have to do all of them before you get to your message. You can kind of, as you're talking to them in your message, you can ask them more personal questions about themselves, get them talking about themselves, because people love to talk about themselves. All right, well, I hope that helps, and I will talk to you guys later.